Coming up on Fulton Today, Fulton commissioners take the lead in helping to eliminate new HIV cases by the end of the next decade. We'll explain. And a local university combines fun and education to help a group of children say goodbye to their summer vacation. That and much more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Fulton commissioners established a new department for HIV elimination and in the process renew their effort to eliminate new cases of HIV by 2030. Now, Jeff Cheek is the man appointed to head this new department, and he and his team are already making significant headway.
What would y'all talk about in the meeting?
While it is work this team does every day, the new Fulton County Department for HIV Elimination now means an expanded mission for the formerly named Ryan White Department.
Our name change will speak more to all the great things that we're going to do in eradicating HIV in the Metro Atlanta EMA. So we're going to provide the same services we have, the $27 million in funding we've received and servicing 17,000 clients per year. What we're excited about is as a result of new initiatives from the Trump administration, we're able to do more, service more clients, and provide innovative services to some of our communities that are largely impacted by HIV disease.
In addition to managing Ryan White Part A grants representing $27.7 million in federal funding each year, the new Department for HIV Elimination will take a leadership role in the development of a metropolitan Atlanta regional plan to get no new cases of HIV.
Well, this is an exciting time. You know, over the past few years, there's been a lot of discussion about how if we can get people into care, get them on medications, we can get them virally suppressed. And what that means is the amount of the virus in their body goes down to almost nothing. Well, with that, not only are they healthy, but there's almost no chance that they're going to be able to spread the disease. So for the first time in years, there's actually some excitement that we could get to where there's no new cases of HIV in Fulton County.
This planning effort will draw together individuals and organizations from across the region to develop a plan to meet community needs, building upon the work of Fulton County's HIV Task Force and the Metropolitan Atlanta HIV Health Services Planning Council.
So most people know us as the Ryan White Part A program. What we're excited about is as of 2019, we have new initiatives that will allow us to do some innovative approaches to try to get people in care and retain them in care. And then as we all know, with the ending the HIV epidemic, a plan for America under the Trump administration, clearly we have some additional opportunities that are coming down the pike in 2020 to try to eradicate new infections of HIV disease within the next 10 years.
The department will also work with organizations like the Elton Johns AIDS Foundation and Fast Track Cities that are focused on Fulton County's HIV elimination.
Fulton County Metro Atlanta is third among all jurisdictions in the United States for new HIV cases. And that's a scary statistic. And it's also something that means that there are a lot of lives in Fulton County impacted by HIV. But the message I like to give is we are able to do something about it.
The name change comes at a time when the department has been awarded an additional $1 million in Ryan White HIV and AIDS program grants from the U.S. Health Resources and Services Administration. Now, to get involved in the movement to eliminate new HIV cases, you can contact the office. And to find out how to get HIV and AIDS testing, you can contact the Board of Health. Fulton's chief investigator for the district attorney's office, well, she is named as one as the best in the state. Chief Cynthia Wakocha was awarded the 2019 Chief Investigator of the Year for her district at the Prosecuting Attorneys Council's annual conference in Jekyll Island. Chief has been serving for over 20 years in the district attorney's office and overseeing the investigations for every criminal trial in the office.
Been attending this PAC conference for the last 22 years. And in my 22 years, there are very few women and very few African American women that are decision makers in this field. I am proud to see that my work has paid off. And by receiving this award for the Investigator of the Year for the state of Georgia, I am so very honored.
Chief Wakocha leads a team of over 50 investigators. Prior to serving in the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, she was also a part of the Fulton County Police Department. Meanwhile, the county's chief jailer travels abroad for public safety leadership training. Colonel Mark Adger was a part of a 21-member delegation of senior law enforcement officials participating in the 27th Annual Georgia International Law Enforcement Exchange in Israel. The intensive 2-week training program with Israel's top police executives demonstrated the best practices and latest technologies in policing and in public safety.
I think one of the things that I appreciate a lot about the Israeli policing techniques that we saw while we were there is that they remain prepared all the time. And that's something that we don't do here in America. We ramp up for special events, and then when they're over, we go back to business as usual. Whereas there, they always stay prepared. I think that's something that we can learn from them.
While in Israel, Colonel Adger trained with various law enforcement officials from Georgia who also made the trip. He was given the opportunity to tour one of the country's prison training facilities. The focus for this year was community policing. Meanwhile, the chief jailer is hoping that the group of young men in this next story make the choice to go to college one day instead of joining him inside the Fulton County Jail. FGTV's Daryl Carver has more on what was a life-changing experience.
Imagine that stuck in the side of your neck, or your eyeball, or your back.
The sheriff's office staff wasted no time in making their point to this group of teens who have never found themselves on the wrong side of the law. The Fulton County Jail is the last place where you'd want to spend your teenage years. These young men are part of the Next Level Boys Academy, a mentoring organization in South Fulton. On this day, they learned about the choices that life can present. Spend 4 years living in a college dorm or in a jail cell.
This particular retreat today is called Your Choice. So we decided to come to the Fulton County Jail first to look at the jail and the jail cells and all that. And we will leave here and we'll go and tour Clark Atlanta University and look at a dorm. So they have a choice, the jail or the college.
The jail tour included visits to the intake area, the kitchen to learn about the food inmates are served, as well as their cells.
It gives you the negative and the positive in one day, which is very good because it just shows you what you feel that is necessary in your life when you grow up.
Out of approximately 2,600 inmates in the Fulton County Jail, there are 40 17-year-olds. The jail staff says once those 17-year-olds turn 18, they're moved into the adult population.
There's choices. The word of the day today was choices. There's always a choice. There's either a good path or a bad path. Most of the time, people choose a bad path because they feel that it's cool.
And though this field trip also included a visit to Clark Atlanta University, it was the visit to this dorm at the county jail that may have been the most impactful. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Daryl Carver.
Thanks, Daryl. Great story. And still to come on Fulton Today, students get a helping hand in starting the new school year off on the right foot. It's a part of our district-by-district coverage next. One commissioner helps to get kids ready for class, while another is appointed to a national steering committee to work on human services and health issues. Here's this week's district-by-district coverage. District 4 Commissioner Natalie Hall is named Vice Chair of the National Association of Counties Human Services and Education Steering Committee. The appointment was made during the recent NACO national meeting and begins this very month. The committee addresses children's issues, foster care, public assistance, and income support services to senior citizens, and issues related to individuals with disabilities, in addition to a few others.
I'm looking forward to being a part of this steering committee with my colleagues from across the United States in the National Association of Counties Human Services and Education Steering Committee, because we are actually going to be recommending policy and legislation and funding across the counties in the United States to address young people and seniors and those who have disabilities, to address the issues and needs in their communities across the United States.
The committee reviews and makes recommendations on federal policy issues and legislation in a selected subject matter. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. helps the East Atlanta and South Fulton communities kick off the 2019-2020 school year. The commissioner hosted his annual It Takes a Village Back to School giveaway. From notebooks to pencils, the kids were given just the supplies they needed to begin the new school year.
I think our children and our elderly are our most important assets. So we have to do everything that we can to help jumpstart our children to make sure that they're ready to go on day one, ready to learn. They have pencils, papers, notebooks, folders, book bags. You know, nothing replaces the value of a good education, and making sure that our children get an education. The first step in doing that is making sure that they have the necessary tools.
Parents say this was just the help they were looking for to get their children off to a productive start. This was the commissioner's 5th year hosting the Back to School giveaway. Now here's your reminder that early voting starts in a few weeks for the special election to fill the District 6 Fulton Commission seat. From August 26th until September 13th, registered voters can cast their ballots at the Fairburn Library, the Fulton County Government Center, and the South Fulton Service Center. Early voting is available 8:30 a.m. until 5 p.m. August 26th through September 6th. The one Saturday voting day will be September 7th during those same hours, and from September 9th to September 13th, hours 8:30 to 6 p.m. Election day is September 17th. This special election is also for District 2 Atlanta School Board of Education race as well. You can visit FultonElections.com for additional details. And when we come back, the Pump Express arrives in Fulton County to ensure newborns are being properly fed. We'll explain. Here's some new news from our health department. Fulton's Environmental Health Division of the Board of Health, well, it's now responsible for regulating body art establishments and artists in the county. Ellis Jones is the Deputy Director over Environmental Health, but we call him Eli. Sir, welcome back to Fulton Today.
Thank you for having me, Shania.
All right, so first things first, when did all this happen and who decided that Fulton County's Environmental Health Services Division would handle this regulation?
The process actually started many years ago, and it's been in development with several revisions of the body art rules and regulations that Fulton County Environmental Health developed. Then last year, July the 25th of 2018, the Board of Health approved the rules and regulations that were submitted to them. And then for the last year has been a grace period for all establishments that are already in business and artists who already perform the art to come into compliance of the rules and regulations.
And Eli, can you explain to everyone how you define body art establishments?
Body art establishment is any facility that is permanent that offers any type of body art establishment services. That can be tattoos, piercings, or even microblading.
And so per these regulations, what ages apply?
To be a body artist, you must be 18 years or older, and it's someone that is performing tattoos, and or piercings and or microblading.
And what do you have to do to get licensed?
To be a body artist, first you have to submit an application. With the application, you have to provide a bloodborne pathogen class that you've passed. You also have to provide a certification of basic CPR, first aid. You also, on top of that, have to provide that you've had the hepatitis B shot, or you provide the hepatitis B decline letter. Then you would need a letter from your physician stating that you have had all the proper shots for any type of communicable diseases and that you do not have them. Then, of course, you'd have to submit your fees upon your application and all the paperwork that I stated.
And so what will happen if the facility or the artist is found operating without a permit or license.
If the facility is operating without a valid permit, then they will be issued a court citation. Now, if an artist is found performing any type of body art procedure, whether they're in a licensed permitted facility or outside of one, they would also receive a court citation and have to come before a judge.
Eli Jones, always great information. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Thank you for having me, Shonda.
All right, now you can get more details on this regulation by visiting the Environmental Health Services page on the Board of Health's website. Fulton opens another new office to help provide services to those with behavioral and mental health needs. The county's partners at CRIS 180 celebrated their new office location in Decatur. CRIS is an acronym for Creativity, Honor, Respect, Integrity, and Safety. The CRIS 180 staff, thanks to funding by the county, helps children, young adults, and families through mental health counseling at CRIS counseling centers.
This is a rare opportunity when my worlds get to collide. As a former juvenile court judge, as a former child advocate, this is absolutely a culmination of all things wonderful for the kids here in Atlanta, Fulton County, as well as DeKalb. And so CRIS 180 is one of those programs that provides needed services to kids in care as well as those aging out. And I was happy, number one, to be on the advisory board, and number two, to be able to support them in this great endeavor.
We're just thrilled and excited to partner with Fulton County and be able to provide behavioral health services to help people be uplifted and to help people be able to thrive.
CRIS 180 also services group homes for abused and neglected children in foster care, adoption services, a drop-in center for homeless young adults, and a supportive housing program for single and parenting youth. You can check out more about CRIS 180 at the county's website under Departments and then Behavioral and Developmental Disabilities. And get a load of this, the Breast Express makes a stop in Fulton County. The 40-foot RV pumping nursing suite on wheels parked at the Adamsville Regional Health Center. Women came in to get their lactation questions answered and then got a whole lot more.
Today we have the pump spotters here. They load the bus. They go around the nation to support breastfeeding moms that are pumping or just simply breastfeeding at home.
We come to stops and we want moms to come on board, and while they're busy nourishing their children, we want to nourish them. So we stock them with protein shakes from some of our sponsors like Orgain. We give them lactation bites and bars and teas from our sponsor Traditional Medicinals. We let them touch, feel, and see products like our Rocker Baby and our Spectra pumps. These are all of our sponsors who are on board with our journey, and we just want moms to come on, put their feet up, take a break in a cozy environment to pump and feed.
Health professionals say breastfeeding is still by far one of the healthiest feeding methods for babies if the mother is able to offer that as an option. And up next on Fulton Today, find out how the Fulton Library System is helping students say goodbye to summer in a fun and educational way. Stay with us, everybody. As summer vacation comes to an end, Fulton's library staffers are helping students ease into a new school year. Representatives from Georgia State University were asked by Dogwood Library staff to bring the school's bio bus to Grove Park in northwest Atlanta. The occasion was part of the library season's finale of the summer reading program.
So today we brought all the children out to the Grove Park, City of Atlanta, for a fun-filled event. Earlier we had this Chick-fil-A cow visit us. We presented all the children with certificates. They also received mini moves and other certificates from some of the sponsors that sponsor the summer reading program.
The Bio Bus team members gave the young boys and girls a tour of the bus while teaching them about a number of scientific experiments.
The Bio Bus is a program where we go around and teach students from kindergarten to 12th grade and even sometimes in college and teach them about science, all right? The aim of Bio Bus is to get students more engaged in science in a fun way.
The theme for this year's summer reading program was The Universe of Stories. Similar finale programs are scheduled at other county library branches. To learn more, just log on to afpls.org. And finally, it was all lights, camera, and action for the interns in this year's Junior Deputy District Attorney's program.
Candidates seeking to fill the unexpired term of the late commissioner.
The junior DAs took a break from learning about the criminal justice system to getting a crash course in television production. Whether it was in front or behind the scenes, each student was assigned a different task and then explained what it took to get a newscast on the air in a quick and organized manner. And afterwards, they realized that it's not just the anchor who's delivering the news.
Today I learned this position is very hard and that everyone has to work together for the program to run smoothly, and that everything might not be as it seems on TV. You might think that the people's jobs are very easy, but in reality it's really hard. So
the program is fun. I hope to come back next year, and being in this program has opened me up to many careers that I could possibly pursue when I get to college.
When the broadcast was over, the students got a good laugh watching their final production. Great group of kids. Before we go, our reminder that FGTV wants to connect with you online. Be sure to follow FGTV on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram for up-to-date Fulton County news. And of course, you can watch a replay of this show or any other program anytime on our YouTube channel, so please subscribe. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.